Good morning, my friends. I love that Sharon plays that through twice because the first time I'm always a little froggy, but the second time I'm got it going with gusto. So, and of course, I sound like could be singing at the Met, but those of you who've heard me sing know that that's not quite true. Anyway, welcome. And it's fall, y'all. It's finally fall. It took about a month for Mother Nature to show up with the promised schedule on the calendar, but we got it. The nuts are falling, and for those of you who know me, you know that we have walnuts orchards, and for the most part, three quarters or at least 80% are picked up now. So that's a kind of a blessing. It's a real blessing. Um, I've been feeling a little bit off center. Let me just put it that way, with how things are going in our country right now. And so I wanted to use this opportunity, this hour together, to center ourselves. You know, it's hard with the political wrangling that's kind of going on, but my intention is to center ourselves in God and in love and in peace and in gratitude. So as we're here today, joining together our consciousness, we're holding it up to that highest level, that highest power. And we are going to begin with music, because as I have said before, and it's not original thought on my part, music opens up all aspects of the brain. It opens up your thinking and it opens up your emotional side. And so we're going to sing hymn 362, America the Beautiful. Now, Sharon, God bless Sharon, because this brought tears to my eyes, this music, when I was listening yesterday. Sharon only played two verses of this song. So I'm going to suggest that we sing one, verse one, of course, and then sing verse three. Now, y'all are on Zoom, so you can sing whatever verse you want to sing for that second time around. But I felt that verse three kind of spoke to me at this point in time. So, Em, if you'll go ahead and start us off with hymn 362, and they call it "Oh Beautiful for Spacious Skies, America the Beautiful." Isn't that beautiful, my friends? Those words are so powerful. If you have a moment, you can read the whole verse, all the verses of this song. I think it'll speak to your heart as it speaks to mine. And if there was only one regret I had on this, is that Sharon did not play all four verses, because she did such a beautiful job on this particular piece of music. And we just bless Sharon for the gift that she gave us. And, we say that Capital City Unity, it's about music, meditation, and message. And music is an important, important part of our time together, our oneness, and our centering. So blessings to Sharon. And now let's affirm our relationship to God and with each other with the statement that we say every Sunday: whenever two or more are gathered in my name, I am there. I am there. Even in our Zoom room, we can experience that Christ consciousness, the presence of the Christ within us and among us when we gather together. When we gather together, claiming and proclaiming our divinity. I am there. I am there. Can you feel that? Can you feel that within you? I am there. So, in speaking of creativity, of which Sharon blessed us with, the daily words today is focused on creativity. And the daily word is creative. The creative energy of spirit expresses through me stunning visual arts, inspirational music, a brilliant performance. These are all lovely examples of creativity, but they are by no means the only one. Creativity is in the very nature of life. The most soaring, soul-inspiring instances to the mundane moments that fill daily life. Creative acts abound. Creative activities are prayers and action, and continuation of divine activity in its infinite manifestations. Living is a creative art. It's the way I am in the world, the way I love, and the way I relate to all others. Understanding my life in this way, I see how I'm using my thoughts, feelings, and imaginations to create my experiences. I bring my divine gifts to life through my creativity. And from Genesis 1, verse 26, then God said, let us make humankind in our image, according to our likeness, and let them have dominion. It's an important point. We are made in God's likeness. God is not made in our likeness. That's why God does not look like Michelangelo's God. But that's just a footnote to the wonderful daily word. And now, my friends, to those affirmations that we speak together and know at the core of our being. There is only one presence, one power, one love active in my life. God the good, omnipotent. Can we say that together? There is only one presence, one power, one love active in my life. God the good, omnipotent. I know, my friends, sometimes it's hard to remember that when we're in the middle of strife and turmoil. but it is the truth with a capital T. And for those that we love and that we hold in our hearts, the ones that we hold dearest, the ones that we would probably lay our life down for, we speak for them. There is only one presence, one power, one love active in your life. God, the good, omnipotent. And if you want to whisper their names as you speak those words together and hold your hand on your heart, it's so powerful. There is only one presence, one power, one love active in your life. God, the good, omnipotent. When we use these words, we are using the power of our highest consciousness to move our positive thought energy from our energy field out to others, out to the world. And that higher vibration of love that we send can cause lower vibrations to be lifted up. So it is with this in mind that we speak these words for our nation. There is one presence, one power, one love active in our nation, the United States of America. God the good, omnipotent. Together, there is only one presence, there's only one love. There's only one power active in the nation today. God the good, omnipotent. And let us speak these words for our world. There is only one presence, one power, one love active in the world today. God the good, omnipotent. Together, there is only one presence, one power, one love active in the world today. God the good, omnipotent. And my friends, as we align ourselves with God, as we center ourselves with God, we know that with God, all things are possible. And we know to judge by righteous judgment, not by appearances. So thank you, God. Thank you, God. Amen. And now, my friends, for our meditation song, I invite you to turn to hymn 183. I am the radiant life of God. I am the radiant life of God. 183. Just breathe in, settle into your presence in your space. Take in those deep cleansing breaths and release. Release into a count of 4 or 5 and exhale to a little bit longer to a count of 8 or 10, you'll find your body naturally relaxes. That's code for your body, for your parasympathetic nerve to say, ah, time to relax. I'm safe. So just breathing in. And if you get distracted, if your mind wanders, you know what to do. Just go back to the breath. Into 4, out to 8. I am the radiant life of God. I am the radiant health of God. I am the radiant strength of God. I am the wonderful love of God. I am the powerful rhythm of God. God is the music, and we are the notes in the score. God is the ocean, and we are the individualized waves. We are the I am, the individualized essence of God showing up as a human being, a soul. The body doesn't have a soul. The soul has a body. The soul, that individualized spark of the divine, has a body and a personality. As you move into the sanctuary of your own being, I invite you to focus on this sense of being one with the divine being. Relax. Relax into this place of love. Relax into this place of goodness. Relax into this place of godness. Relax into the peace that passes all understanding. For it is here that your best work is done. I wonder, is there something that you need to heal? Maybe somewhere in your body, or maybe it's a relationship that needs healing. Let my words be your words. The healing power of the divine flows through my body. I am health. I am wholeness. I am prosperous. The healing power of God works through medical professionals that are helping me. I am restored to my natural state. I am grateful for my healthy body and the gifts of this experience. Maybe the gift of discomfort or dis-ease is in the little things that are making your life a little easier. The things that go unappreciated because they're working well in the background of your life. They're working for your good. Maybe it's the people who love you and the ones that you love. And as you focus on that love, can you feel gratitude? Can you feel peace? Can you feel joy? Divine love flows through me. I am healthy. I am prosperous. I am love. Maybe you'd like to affirm this with me, either quietly or in your mind. Divine love flows through me. I am healthy. I am prosperous. I am love. As you think on these words, feel them. Feel them within you. Ignite the words with your positive emotion. Divine love flows through me. I am healthy. I am prosperous. I am love. I'm going to add to that. I am love. I am loving. I am lovable. I am loved. I am loving. I am lovable. Now maybe it's a relationship that needs to be worked on or healed. Maybe out of fear, you've blocked the flow of love. Even those who annoy us or who are unkind to us deserve our love. At least they deserve our love in the form of compassion or forgiveness. Oh no, you may be thinking, I cannot offer forgiveness. However, unless we neutralize the emotion in the situation or the relationship, we bind that person or experience to us for as long as we hold it into eternity, my friends, into eternity. Or even those people who annoy us, we can pray for them that they experience personal peace. Wouldn't it be wonderful if everyone experienced the peace that passes all understanding? If everyone felt love so that they could express love, you can't pour from an empty cup. So feeling peace and love allows the outward flow of peace and love. The Daily Word on October 15th said, "Sometimes I struggle with the teachings of Jesus. Who can deny that the world rumbles with thoughts of anger instead of forgiveness? Yet affirmative prayer for another person's healing, their peace, and their prosperity has the power to soothe the turbulent world and bridge the gap between people and conflict. When I take time to pray for others, I benefit as well by becoming a healthier, more joyful person. Wise words from the Daily Word. Sometimes we feel as a loss as to what we can do to heal our relationships or the discord in our nation. So let's follow the Daily Word's wisdom. Centered as you are now, in this place of peace and love, radiate out harmony, radiate out compassion, radiate out understanding to those that annoy or upset you. Whether they are close to you, like a family member, or in your community, or whether you experience them through the media. See people everywhere filled with the light of the divine, filled with the light of love, filled with the light of peace. This is simple, but it's not easy, my friends. But it's worth it. It's really worth it. For you are the radiant of God. You are the radiant love of God. You are the full expression of God. God is love. Hold that for yourself as you hold it for others. Breathing in, centering, relaxing. I'd like to close this meditation with a song. And it's hymn number 251. It's Flow, Spirit, Flow. And what I didn't realize, although I've sung this song for many years, it's a Maori folk melody. And the words to it were written by our own Janet Manning. So it's hymn 251, Flow, Spirit, Flow. Thank you, my friends. Thank you. And now I invite you to come back. I'm so delighted to be here today with our dear friend, Ruben Guzman. Ruben, if you didn't see the email e-blast, and it has a link to Ruben's information, his Facebook page and his website. Ruben is a life coach, but Ruben focuses on health. He's been a Unity student since 2006, so we know there's that that greater wisdom as he pursues his teachings and his healings, because he channels the divine. So, Reuben, I'm delighted you're here. I loved your past talks, and I'm looking forward to this one. So I'm turning it over to you, my friend.
Thank you so much, Claudia. Thank you. It's an honor to be with all of you this beautiful Sunday. Beautiful Sunday this fall, and here in the Sacramento area, but wherever you are, it's just wonderful. So it's my privilege to be with you. And I love what you said, Claudia, that we have to realize that we are not physical bodies having a soul. We are souls having a body. And I remember listening to so many of my Unity teachers who talked about how we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And it's very powerful to really grasp that concept. It's a very powerful concept that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. Yes, we have a body, but our body does not define us. Yes, we have thoughts, but our thoughts do not define us. Yes, we have feelings, but our feelings do not define us. No, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. So the title of my talk today is Eat of This Food. Eat of this food. Because when we look at the wisdom of so many wonderful spiritual teachers, we realize that we have four fundamental energies. Even though we are spiritual beings having a human experience, we have four energies that coexist in our human experience. So, yes, we have spiritual energy, which is our sense of purpose, our divine purpose. I remember listening to so many teachers that said that the greatest distance that we have in our lifetime is 16 inches, the distance from our head to our heart, because that's where God speaks to us with our divine purposes instilled in our heart, our values and needing to matter. That's our spiritual energy. Our emotional energy is how we feel. We all have emotions. That's what makes us distinctly human. We have positive emotions and engagement levels and being valued. And I love the teachings of one of my favorite teachers, Norman Vincent Peale. Anybody familiar with that name? Wonderful teacher. The power of positive thinking and feelings. I mean, so really our emotions are so important. And that's our mental energy as well. So our mental energy is so important, being able to focus and solve problems and being able to be engaged in what we're living in this consciousness. But then there's our physical energy. We have our physical energy to contend with as well. I've heard some people say, oh, I don't have to worry about my body. I'm just going to function as a spiritual being. No, that's irresponsible. We are physical beings as well. And our physical energy has a lot to contend with. It's our food, it's our exercise, it's our sleep, it's how we rest, it's restoration, it's all of that. And we are charged with being stewards of this body that we have in this spiritual experience of being a human being. We are given this body as a gift. And it is a responsibility that we have as spiritual beings having a human experience to be stewards of our bodies, to be responsible for how we care of this body that we're given in this spiritual experience. And yes, we're given dominion over all the animals and all on the planet, not dominance, dominion. That dominion means responsible stewardship. Responsible stewardship. So if we look, it's very easy. I learned a long time ago, one of my favorite teachers Jim Rohn, and he said, the secret to success is very simple. Study the successful people and do what they do that everybody else doesn't do. Kind of makes sense. So the thing about it is that if we look at the people who are living the longest, most healthy, thriving, happy, prosperous lives on the face of this planet, we can see that there's a pattern. And it's very interesting because we've studied this and we have research around this now. And it's called the Blue Zones. If you haven't looked up the Blue Zones, it's a very worthwhile endeavor. And so it's interesting because if we look, on average, people reach the age of 100 at a rate of 20 per 10,000. In the Blue Zones, they reach the age of 100 at a rate of 80 per 10,000. That's a 400% difference, more than statistically significant. So what is it that they're doing that everybody else isn't doing? And interestingly enough, we've actually studied their patterns of lots of different things. And it's very interesting. So one of these groups is our cousins, the Seventh-day Adventists. Yes. And guess what? Based on biblical principles, they have changed how they eat, the food they eat. And in fact, the food that all of these groups eat is predominantly plants. Isn't that interesting? So the Seventh-day Adventists have biblical principles about how we eat. If you go to Genesis 1:29, then God said, behold, I have given you every plant yielding seed that is on the surface of all the earth, and every tree which has fruit yielding seed, it shall be food for you. He did not say, I have given you barbecues to cook the chickens and the beef and the pork and make the ham. No, he didn't say that. I love the story of Joseph, also in Genesis. It's very powerful because the Pharaoh had these two dreams. And Joseph was brought in to help interpret those dreams. And as a result, Joseph said, your dreams are the same. Let them gather all the excess food during these good years that are coming, the 7 years of plenty. Under Pharaoh's authority, store the grain in the cities so they may preserve it as food. Store the grain. The grain. That's intelligent. The food will be a reserve for the land during the 7 years of famine that will take place in the land of Egypt. Then the country will not be wiped out by the famine. Think about the wisdom in that. To store grain in preparation for a famine. I love this one from Proverbs 15:17. Better is a dish of vegetables where love is than a fattened ox served with hatred, and I'll add to that fear, pain, and suffering. Have you ever looked into the eyes of an animal, a dog or a cat, and grown to love that animal? To kill that animal induces fear, pain, and suffering to that animal. The fourth commandment is thou shalt not kill. It doesn't say thou shalt not kill only humans. It says thou shalt not kill. The story of Daniel is very profound in the Bible. During the captivity with Babylonia. But Daniel 1:8, but Daniel made up his mind that he would not defile himself with the king's choice food or with the wine which he drank. So he sought permission from the commander of the officials that he might not defile himself. Daniel said, please test your servants for 10 days. Let us be given some vegetables to eat and water to drink. That's it. Vegetables and water. Daniel 1:15. At the end of 10 days, their appearance seemed better, and they were fatter than all the youths who had been eating the king's choice food. Interesting. So there was a clinical experiment done right there in the book of Daniel. Leviticus says in 11:8, you shall not eat of their flesh nor touch their carcasses. They are unclean to you. Whatever crawls on its belly and whatever walks on all fours, whatever has many feet in respect to every swarming thing that swarms on the earth, you shall not eat them, for they are detestable. In Deuteronomy, it says, only be sure not to eat the blood, for the blood is the life, and you shall not eat the life with the flesh. And think about it, when you kill an animal, that animal's got blood circulating all through its flesh. In Romans, New Testament, one person has faith that he may eat all things, but he who is weak eats vegetables only. Interesting. To heal, eat vegetables only. To heal if you are weak. Romans again, it is good not to eat meat or drink wine or to do anything by which your brother stumbles. So if we look today in our modern society, we have plenty. We have so much of anything and everything you can imagine. You go to the grocery store, there is an abundance of anything and everything. And we all feast like kings every single day. That was not how life was in biblical times. That was not. Instead of feasting only on special occasions like most of our ancestors did, every day is a feast day. My dear mentor, Dr. John McDougall, he refers to the average American diet as a constant feast and recommends that we return to practices that were practiced in the past and to choose only a few special events a year in which to indulge in rich foods, if we do it at all. If we go back to the book of Daniel, Daniel's caregiver was worried about angering the king by not providing the foods that the king had ordered for these boys in training. Daniel proposed that he and his friends eat their plain plant-based foods, grains, seeds, and water for 10 days, and that they be compared to the other young men to see if they weren't healthier on that simpler diet. The test was agreed to, and after 10 days, Daniel and his friends were judged to be healthier and stronger than those eating the king's meat and wine. Dr. Michael Greger, another one of my mentors, he tends to think that doctors may be more successful at getting people to commit to a healthier plant-based diet by telling them that the Bible told them to do so. So, my friends, if we really look, the evidence is there. It's absolutely there. I did an autopsy on a Seventh-day Adventist woman back in 1981, and her internal organs were as pristine and flawless as a newborn. And she ate only plants. She ate only plants. So if we really look, there are simply 4 major food groups for us to eat. Eat of this food, these 4 foods. Eat vegetables like Daniel did. And by the way, there's something called the Daniel diet. It's based on this. Okay. So eat vegetables, eat whole grains, not processed grains, not flour. Okay. Whole grains. Ezekiel bread, by the way, it's a whole grain, flourless bread. It's made as in the same pattern as ancient times. So whole grain. And then you want to eat legumes, beans, peas, and lentils. That's what we show in the research. That's the #1 food group in common of all the blue zones is lentils. Is legumes. Legumes, beans, peas, and lentils. And then the 4th food group is fruit. Fruit. So those 4 food groups, now add a little bit of nuts and seeds, not a problem, you're good. That's all you need. And you can live on those foods and be healthy and fit, just like Daniel proved it in the book of Daniel. That was a clinical experiment. It was done. It was a 10-day clinical trial. It was very successful. And that's all we need to do. Now, to help you to learn more about this, I recommend a couple of videos. On Netflix, there is a documentary called Live to 100 Years. And it's the story of the Blue Zones, and it's really remarkable. I also recommend another documentary on Netflix called You Are What You Eat, a twin experiment. And it's based on a fabulous clinical trial done with twins, comparing a healthy omnivore diet versus a healthy plant-based diet. Absolutely extraordinary, connected by my colleague, Dr. Chris Gardner out of Stanford University. Absolutely phenomenal. And then I also recommend a book called The Plant-Based Cookbook. The Plant-Based Cookbook, very simple, by Ashley, Ashley, Madden, Madden. Fabulous information. It will get you on the right path to being able to eat of the food that God designed for us. I submit that we have divine design. We are all divinely designed. And what's important for us to understand is that we as human beings, yes, we have free will, but our ego can get in the way. And our ego can get us to do things that we like or we prefer or we're attached to just because it feels good or we like it how it tastes. But as one of my favorite ministers, Les Brown, said, ego, the acronym for ego is edging God out. Ego is edging God out. See, we have divine design, and we think we can eat anything we want. We think we can walk into Baskin Robbins and eat all 31 flavors. We think we can walk into Mountain Mike's Pizza and eat all the different types of pizza. We think we can walk into any of those stores and eat all that kind of food just because it looks good. We walk into C's Candy and eat all the candies. Look, if it looks good, smells good, tastes good, it doesn't necessarily mean it is good. That's ego. We're edging God out. So my invitation to all of you, my friends, is to follow divine design. Pay attention to the people who are actually living long, healthy, thriving lives because they follow divine design. So that's the invitation. We all have the power of choice. We all do. And one of my favorite teachers taught me a long time ago, we can choose. We either can choose the pain of regret or the joy from commitment. Thank you, Claudia. And I'm happy to entertain any questions.
Yeah, we have
Anybody
we
has
have
any
a few
questions?
minutes.
Yeah, I'm happy to entertain any questions from anybody.
Okay. Oh, there goes my sister.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I
Okay.
just had to show this
Lillian?
off.
There you go. The Blue Zones Kitchen. Wonderful.
Yeah, different author.
Well, that's Dan. No, he wrote the book, The Blue Zones. Dan Buettner.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, he wrote the book. But that's a cookbook. Yeah, that's great. It's very good. And just to let you know, so I am board certified in lifestyle medicine. So there it is right there. So the American College of Lifestyle Medicine. So, and starting in 2025, next year, board certified physicians and professionals like myself, we will be the clinical providers for the Blue Zones projects worldwide.
Ooh.
Isn't that exciting?
Wow.
I can't wait. I can't wait. So this has been a dream of mine for a long, long period of time. So I'm very, very excited. So we have now reached a partnership between the American College of Lifestyle Medicine and the Blue Zones organization to be able to bring the information and the training and the teaching for people to learn how to live a thriving, healthy, happy life past the age of 100.
Amen.
Yes. Other
Well,
questions?
as the Irish say, may there be life
I'm sorry,
in
it was a
years.
lot of...
So the Irish proverb is, may there be life in your years and years in your life. I don't think any one of us want to live in a hospital bed until we're 100. So may there be life in your years and years in your life. And I think Ruben just gave us the prescription. Simple but not easy. Maybe for some of us as we start on that path.
Yes.
All right, my friends. Let's
Susan has a question. Susan has a question.
Okay, Susan.
No, we can't hear you, Susan. We still can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
She looks like she's muted.
Susan, if you could type
Turn
it.
up your volume. Now she's not muted. Turn up your volume, basically.
if you could type your question in the chat, I think that would be better.
Good
Yeah,
idea, Emma. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Type a question in the chat. Not a problem.
Right. All right,
Anyone
my
else?
friend. Well, that's exciting news that 2025 will mark a new pathway to health and
Mhm.
well-being. And if you want to get a hold of Ruben again, well, Ruben, do you have a professional address email address you'd like to give us?
Sure, sure. My email address is Coach Ruben, CoachRuben. So that's the biblical spelling of Ruben. Coach Ruben at CoachRuben.com.
Oh,
So Coach
perfect.
Ruben at CoachRuben.com. Simple.
Okay.
And if you wanted
RUBEN,
to text
biblical
me, you can
spelling.
certainly do that. That's 916-821-8953. And that is my correct email address, Eamon. So that is correct. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thanks, Am, for doing that.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's like anything else that we listen to, messages from you. It's worth listening to a second time. Folks, go back on and listen on our website, and then go ahead and shout out to Ruben. I mean, he's given us certainly a lot of information and to digest, if I
Yes.
can use that word improperly or properly. So,
Can I
my
answer
friends,
Susan's question? This is a very good question.
oh, okay, go
Okay,
ahead.
so the question from Susan is, are there any special dietary recommendations for people with Lyme's disease? Very powerful question because we see more and more autoimmune disorders and difficult, challenging disorders coming up all the time. So when it comes to any of those kinds of conditions, yes, I have very special dietary recommendations based on my colleague, Dr. Brooke, Brooke Goldner, Goldner. She is the author of Goodbye Lupus and Goodbye Autoimmune Disease. She is remarkable. Now, those kinds of conditions, they require not only a plant-based diet, which is healthy and very, very helpful, but in some of these conditions, they require what we call a highly, highly anti-inflammatory diet. Now, it's not what's popularized on the internet. No, it's completely different. So it's very specific. So I recommend that information. And if you go to my website and on coachruben.com and then click on the videos tab, that will take you to my YouTube channel. And on my YouTube channel, you can scroll down and you can see a webinar, Freedom from Autoimmune Disorders. And you can go ahead and watch that. Lots of good information, lots of references there. So I definitely recommend that for those kinds of conditions we have to, and I've done this many, many times. I follow her protocol and I do much more too, but to absolutely ramp up the omega-3 fatty acid profile in the bloodstream so that we really increase the anti-inflammatory effects of the body and help the immune system really do its job. So thank you for that question, Susan. I hope that answers your question. Okay, good. Great.
Wonderful. What a wealth of resources that Dr. Ruben, we can call you doctor, I guess,
You can call me
has
doctor.
on
The word
this,
doctor means teacher, and I'm certainly that.
okay, well, Teacher Ruben, thank you. And really check out the website and the webinars. There's nothing as powerful as health. You can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have your health, you have nothing.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
all right, my friends. Well, I'm going to move on and we're going to close this service out first with, gosh, just an acknowledgement and a thank you again. Just what a wonderful, wonderful message today. And now, as we move into that place, we're able to bless our ministry and our board and the people who allow us, or your tithes and offerings that allow us to bring these messages to you, these wonderful music, the message and the meditations. And Em, if you'll go ahead and put up the address where people can send their checks. I invite you to hold your offering in consciousness in whatever form it takes, whether it's checks or electronic bank transfer. Just close your eyes and see your cup running over as you say with me, with emotion, I am prosperous. I am prosperous. I am prosperous.
I
My
am
cup
prosperous.
runneth over.
My cup runneth over.
I am blessed, and I share prosperity freely with the source of my good. I am prosperous. Thank you. Thank you, dear God, for your prosperity flows out from you and blesses Capital City Unity and its mission of good music, good talks, and good meditations every Sunday here in Zoom. All that you give returns to you tenfold. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. And now, my friends, let's close with the peace song, because it is so needed at the community level, at the national level, at the world level. Let there be peace on earth. And now, my friends, as I invite you to unmute yourself so we can sing the prayer of protection, I want to thank Em and acknowledge her for these beautiful, beautiful pictures of our world. It's so easy to be at peace and to sing about peace and love when we're looking at the beauty of what we have around us. So thanks, Em. Thank you so much. And now, to that cacophony of joyful affirmation, we can begin with the light of
The light
God,
of God surrounds us. The love of God,
power of
God
protects us.
enfolds us. The power of God protects us.
protects us.
The
presence
presence
of
of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Hey, thanks, sis, for keeping me on track. I got a little off track there. Well, everyone, thank you so much for showing up. It's great to see your faces, to hear your voices again. Thank you so much, Ruben, for a really powerful talk. You know, to teach us how to have life in our years as well as health. All right. Take care, everyone. See you next Sunday with Marty and then Phil.
Okey doke. Bye. Thanks, Ruben.